Yeah, maybe we'll pull a Tarantino, and this will just be.
Well, honestly, I think we should.
I think this is a good one.
If we're pulling a
Tarantino, let's get this shit going. God, ready? Oh my! Sprawled out on the couch. Her shoes are off. Her shoes are off. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Sean, and I am here to tell you to hop on that Patreon page. We got ourselves exclusives that no one else in the world gets to check out. If you liked our discussion here, you get the full audio version, completely uncut, with a bunch of topics that we didn't have time to put in the video. We really appreciate you guys. Head on over there, get us a bit of support, and now I will stop yapping, and we'll get on with the damn discussion. Jay.
My wife.
Korkuborcha, bing bong, bing bong, bing.
We're talking about Borat.
We're talking about, we're here. Hey, everybody, we're doing an episode about Borat, everybody, from 2005. Nice. Man, isn't that fucking George W. Bush just a rascal?
You fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Sean Tank Top, over here. We got ourselves Max Hensky. We got Morgan Trace. We got Amelia. And we are talking, I think it's got 5 digits. It gets dirty. You walk on them. You know, it's a
hand.
It's a hand. Yeah, it's a hand fetish movie.
Hand fetish.
No, we're talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. New Quinten Tarantino joint.
Or as I have said, like his first handful of movies. Those are the films of Quinten Tarantino. These more recent batches, these are the slogs of Quinten Tarantino. like clear your...
A Quinten Tarantino slog.
Clear your schedule.
Yeah, no shit, right? What do you guys all think of it?
I liked it. We actually went to go to the Music Box Theater here in Chicago. It's been around for 90 years this year. So we were lucky enough to see one of the 5 copies out there that is in 70 millimeter.
Right.
I thought that, for me, just added a level of... Well, obviously nostalgia, but it really took you to 1969.
Mm-hmm.
And
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fact we were smoking acid-dipped cigarettes, too.
In the theater.
In the theater.
Yeah.
And they you got a free acid-dipped cigarette with it.
Yeah.
That's how old school they keep it.
Cocktail waitresses were just walking up and down the aisle giving us whiskey sours.
You guys enjoyed it? You guys liked it? What'd you think?
Yes. Sayuri was amazing.
Huh?
Sayuri.
What is that word?
That's Brandy the dog.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Guess what?
Okay, like we were saying.
The movie ended.
First half, no spoilers. Second half, spoilers.
This is no spoiler.
There's a dog in the movie.
It's just a dog.
There's a dog in the movie.
There's a dog in the movie.
There's a really cute pit bull in the movie.
And I will say, when the movie ended, I was like, give that dog a dog Oscar. And guess what?
He got a dog Oscar?
She won a dog Oscar.
She won
the Palm Dog Award.
I mean,
is there a palm dog? Is there literally?
She is literally
the palm dog.
She is the first actress or actor in this film to win an award for this film. So it is Sayuri the dog.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did she have a lot of competition this year?
That's true.
Apparently,
she cleared the Palme de Bork.
Palme de Bork.
Oh,
nice.
It was a light year for dog actors, but I'm sorry, I don't care who she go up against. She wins them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the
that
movie.
Dog's a star.
And the movie.
In the movie.
And the movie.
And the movie. There was a movie attached. There was a movie attached to this dog. It was 14 fucking hours long.
What'd you think?
No, I really liked it. It was long, but I didn't feel like it dragged. I thought it was fine.
It was over 2 cans of rosé long.
Right.
Have the interactive experience.
Oh my God. Yeah. It was good as far as like the Tarantino canon. It was kind of like, because it's kind of what you're talking about. Like there was like the films of Quentin Tarantino, and I kind of see that like Kill Bill sort of being like the middle point, and then everything that was before, and then kind of the kick that he's been on as of late. You know,
that's when he became like late stage George Lucas. Where like nobody can say no to me over anything.
Yeah, kind of. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna put all the fucking feet and all the fucking things, you know, and everything like that. And like but I thought that it reined it back for the most part into just being like a simple story about the people that are in it.
Right, yeah.
And I kind of like that about the movie. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah, it wasn't bogged down by a lot of his, like, forced action scenes. Or when I say forced, I mean like narratively they don't feel forced a lot of times because a lot of the time they're exciting and they're out of left field. But then like the way he, it's like I love that one in Django where he's like, look at how great I can do this badly. Like remember like in Django, like when he shoots the sister.
Bye, Miss Laura.
It kind of took some more of the cartoonish
He
elements out of it.
peels that back.
It was really
for the most part.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was just like a story about two guys that kind of like love each other
And they're
and
buddy
need
movie.
each other. You know.
It's a buddy movie and it's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
I will say the historical nature of this movie. By the way, I was a little down on this movie when we first saw it. I was trying to be like really like.
Oh, same. I was like,
critical
I've
and
never been like as excited or repelled. by
Right,
a
but then
movie.
shout out to our watcher Lindsay. She wrote a very beautiful article for the Nerdist that which I didn't. I can't read a lot of her articles until I see the film.
Right.
And then reading her article actually made me kind of be like, oh, okay, this is what they were going for, because I feel like the point of the movie. I spent a long time watching the movie thinking like, oh, this is kind of pointless. Everything that's happening is kind of pointless.
It meanders.
And then it kind of just like ties it all at the end. Ties it all together.
Yeah.
I actually would be interested in watching it again, knowing how it ends and knowing what the point was.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, okay, this is why we were doing all this.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of was going to say the in-world shows and everything like that. I felt like I was really getting kind of lost in each, watching him in his show and watching them in the movie. So,
yeah.
And it kind of felt, it just almost felt like a character study of the character of Hollywood in the late 60s.
Basically.
Yeah.
But then, toward the end, they kind of wrap it all.
He does a great.
together.
He does do a good job of making the setting feel like a character, which
Yeah.
is.
Oh, yeah.
If you're gonna put the setting in the title of the movie, definitely something you should go for.
Yeah. I feel like that
It's
was
a
like
mood piece.
Mood piece.
And also the fact that this Hollywood world necessarily isn't even for Rick Dalton anymore. He's kind of an outsider.
Yeah, he's a dinosaur.
Too,
He's
exactly.
like, and that's what he's wrestling.
So he's almost like Sunset Boulevard. Like he's like a later.
Oh, yeah.
He's totally a Norman
Norman Desmond. Yeah,
Totally.
He's like a Norman.
Yeah. 2 leads. What do we think? 3 leads. I mean, what would you say that Margot Robbie's? Is
I
she
would
the
say.
third lead?
I would say she's
A light third lead.
I would say she's like.
Is she the and?
This sounds bad, but when you see the movie, I think it makes sense. She's the object. She's
like the inciting.
She's the ring. She's the Iron Throne. She's the Death Star. She's the
all the good intentions of
the movie are
Hollywood
centered
is
on
kind
her.
of in
Now that
her.
sounds
It
shallow,
sounds terrible, right?
but when you see the movie,
It works.
It works and it clicks. And now, having seen the movie, like okay, so there was a thing a while back after the festival circuit where this reporter was like, "Oh, well, you know." Why was Margot Robbie just like this kind of, like, she doesn't have a lot of dialogue, and she's blah, 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 blah. And then Tarantino, in typical fashion, was like, I refuse your hypothesis. Next question.
Well, I just reject your hypotheses.
But having seen the movie, I get it.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, oh, I was trying to say something, and you're trying to tack on your expectations.
A little something that
You're like, as a Sharon Tate biopic, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally inaccurate.
this is like the worst Sharon Tate biopic I've ever seen.
I was going to go back to Lindsay's piece where she said it was really just more of a love letter to Sharon Tate.
Yes,
and homage, and just showing her, honoring her spirit and honoring her life, as opposed to a lot of other stuff that can get bogged down and just focus on
what
the
everybody
murder.
fucking focuses
This
on.
is honestly the first QT movie ever that I got a smattering of like a genuine emotional reaction. Where I was like, I feel good.
Yeah. It was like,
it's a feel-good flick.
Yeah, right. I mean, I thought that the two guys did pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that, Leo, even though he just like, all right, where's my shouting scene?
Where is my beautiful sister? I'm the king of the world. Go!
He was like good. Like I thought he you kind of again like you kind of just go, you just follow these two guys like through their workaday lives and stuff like that, or what their days are now.
I relate to Rick Dalton when he's freaking out in the trailer, because that's me after we do the podcast.
Why'd you say the one thing? Come on. Like, yeah, absolutely. No, that's
I
great.
love how he had a stutter in his normal life, but when
Yeah.
he like practiced his lines, like
Very
Sean,
very subtle.
you wouldn't know anything about that.
Very subtle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought
I
that
have the same thing. I stutter, but I stutter on camera.
right.
Well, and I
No.
think for him, he was really just comparing himself to everyone else instead of feeling his own successes or whatever. And that's why Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski were so poignant to him. It's like, from an outsider, I
Real
look just
artists.
as successful
Yeah.
as them. I'm their neighbor, whatever. But from the inside, he's just comparing himself to them and hoping, oh, I moved in next to, or Polanski moved in next to me, maybe he'll be my big break. But in that time, it was sort of in your contract. They're forcing you to do stuff. It's like he was just, Sharon Tate was in that cycle too, you know? It's like we stick you where we need you. You guys are all just like talking props to us. So it's like, she probably felt like that too, but then from Rick Dalton's character's point of view, she was on top of the world.
Yeah.
So it's just this whole...
It's just same situation, same meat grinder, but different results for two different people.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah. I love, this might be my favorite Brad Pitt performance.
I gotta say, I was about to say,
I loved him. in
Except for
this.
Deadpool 2, obviously.
Vanisher.
Maybe the wind can't blow what it can't see.
Really?
Brad Pitt's an interesting type of dude. He seems like he's a pretty cool guy in real life. Seems like he's a pretty cool dude, and he's always, he's obviously like came on to like the in the public consciousness. He was like just a fucking male Adonis sex object, and like that's what he is. Who is very charming and easygoing and affable. Thelma and Louise and everything like that.
yeah.
And so I like the fact that when Brad Pitt tries to like do like a great film performance, to me it doesn't really work, because I think that he's more of a movie star than he is like
like
an
him,
actor.
yeah.
He's perfect for this movie because the movie's about movie stars.
Right, just
Yeah.
hanging
Put
out.
two movie stars
Exactly.
in it. Yeah, and he's known for his his characters that are like the known ones.
Right.
Fight Club, Bastards. It's like they're really grounded cartoon characters.
Kind of, yeah. Or
You know?
he can do cartoonish, or he can be like, I'm just a stud.
Yeah,
Like,
And
I'm just
he's-
kind of a stud, and like
he's
that's
ki-
what he's in this film.
He's kind of a studly cartoon character in this, but like he's got, you know who he is? I was like, what does his character remind me of? And it hit me. He's kind of Boomhauer from King of the Hill, a little bit.
No, he wasn't.
Man,
slight.
I'll tell you one
He's
thing.
Not-
man, you
not
gotta
the
get-
way
you gotta
he
get on
talks.
there.
No, but he's not banging anyone.
No, but
That's
I mean,
true.
But I mean, just a cool guy.
Man, you tell you what,
I'll
man,
tell
you
you
get
one
on
thing,
there
man.
with old Rick Dalton, man. You get on there on set, man.
Yeah.
You just throw Bruce Lee right in the side of that car, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing like that.
He doesn't have like the speech
Spoilers.
cadence, but he's got kind of like the Boomhauer swag.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally. Right, we'll start getting into spoilers.
Spoilers.
We're gonna start spoilers from here on out.
We ran out of gas in the non-spoiler.
Yeah, right. We can't. Even though it's gonna be
Spoilers.
funny that like my spoiler tag is prefacing that he takes his shirt off.
Yeah. So spoiler
that was a
alert.
great
Spoilers.
He
That's
has
a good
two
scene.
nipples.
He's got
He's
two.
got like some cool unexplained scars.
Yes.
Yeah.
He loves
Presumably
that.
from his time on the
They said he was a damn.
military.
I mean that actually is a character informing moment, because we spent, we're like, yeah, he's a stunt guy, whatever.
Like,
But he's got like shingle a roof or something, and there's just like 3-second shot, and he just straight up parkours.
You just
Yeah.
go up there. Like, I don't need no ladder.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
He's stunt guy.
oh,
yeah, it was cool. Like,
Yeah,
it,
that
and,
was
and like,
hot.
and that's right. And then,
That
so he
was
gets
hot.
up there, he's
I
fixing
loved
stuff, and then takes the shirt off. That reminded me of in Pulp Fiction, where Tarantino does have kind of an innate sort of, he's got an intuition as far as like what audiences want, and he will indulge us every once in a while. It was the same thing in Pulp Fiction when he was like, people want to see John Travolta dance again in this movie.
Yeah.
He's just occasionally he'll just occasionally just sort of give it to you. Even
he's like it's like, okay,
he'll indulge that pop
we're
sensibility.
going to church. If you sit still the whole time, we'll go to McDonald's on the way home.
Right.
Like
It was Taco Bell, but
Taco Bell,
that's true. It was Taco
literally
Bell.
my childhood.
That's true.
But
Laura's
it's kind of like
church.
that. He'll give you those
Taco
like
Bell.
little bursts of crowd pleaser moments.
Let's talk about the big fucking thing that
Big
everybody's kind of
reveal.
always, every single person is dancing around this whole thing, which is like the Sharon Tate murders. The thing that kind of hangs like a cloud over the entire movie.
Yeah, because
It
you're
does.
getting to know this lovely,
The thing
sweet
you're waiting
woman.
for.
You're waiting.
Yeah.
You're like, how are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? What's
Man,
going on?
I could see like a 14-year-old watching this movie, not knowing what the whole subplot was about,
There's a ton of that.
not
There-
understanding the context.
There's a lot of pushback that's actually happening online where people are just like, who the fuck is this woman and what?
That is sad.
What's happening? Which
That
is,
makes me
well,
sad.
I mean,
Charlie's gonna dig you.
what did you guys think about the
It
twist of
is-
that of it
yeah, the
of it
twist-
not happening? What did you
Yes,
guys think?
it's the lighter timeline. It's other than the shit timeline we're on.
True.
I think if we lived on that timeline where Sharon Tate is never murdered, we might
Like
not-
9/11 didn't happen.
I
We
was
have
just
9/11.
gonna say.
Watergate, you know.
I was just gonna say. I want to see Tarantino's 9/11.
I want that 9/11. Once
have
upon
a
a
happy-
time.
it would
Right.
have a happy.
A guy's like getting out a box cutter and he's like, "What are you doing, sir? You need help with your potato chip bag."
Yeah,
Like,
little do those hijackers know, taking a shit in the plane a couple aisles down.
Also,
Bruce
Rick Dalton.
Willis.
No, also
Right.
Rick
And
Dalton.
he's-
John McClane's here to sit
or just
for
a
one
new,
last
a new
ride.
character for Bruce Willis. Yeah, but I've been thinking a lot about this because the one that's going to get compared to the most probably is going to be Inglourious Bastards because we're playing fast and loose with history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
We're
noticed
reading this history.
And I noticed this nice little parallel between this and that is that he, in his mind, and this is fantasy, this is a fairy tale, this is one of the joys of escapism,
Yes.
is that he was allowed to, through his art, fix two great wrongs in American history. In Inglourious Bastards, we got to punish one of the most evil people who ever lived.
And like riddle
Who
Hitler's
is
face.
a man who in real life escaped justice.
Yeah.
You know. And now in this one, we got to save one of the great innocents of our time.
Yeah,
And her unborn child and all of her friends, you know.
Hopefully, in that timeline, Charles Manson gets picked
Sharon
up-
Tate doesn't
picked
get
up-
murdered in the movie. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
we're trying
so
to
no
say.
Manson
Doesn't
murders.
happen. Doesn't
I
happen.
would hope that Charles Manson, in that timeline, gets picked up for some petty crime, and he's just a nobody, just a crazy
Yeah.
guy talking to himself in
Right.
some
Right.
jail
Which
somewhere.
is what he always was.
And he
Yeah.
was. We
Yeah.
just put him on a pedestal.
He's like the original school shooter. Or
He's
something like that,
fascinating
you know?
to weirdos.
Yeah, he is. He's weird.
weirdos like me because of how ridiculous he is. Because this is what the power of belief does to fuckers.
Yeah.
It's like,
You know.
Beatles were talking just to me.
how his followers extrapolated
Right.
direct orders from a guy who was gooba gobba is incredible. And then it's played to very satisfying effect. And now I can see why Sharon Tate's sister really got appreciated this
Yep.
because it's not I'll get into Sharon Tate in a second, but let's get this piece of shit Manson's out of the way. So there's Tex Watson who, I'm a big true crime guy, whatever, wearing a Jason shirt, but the very bone chillingly one of the things that Tex Watson said that you see all the time is I'm the devil and I'm here to do the devil's business. No, it was dumber than that.
No, that wasn't it. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Kind of taking the power away from
Taking the power away from
and
these
then the
people.
best,
These assholes,
even
you know.
better was when they were the police were taking their statement, and they're and then he's I know he came in and said, I'm the devil, I want to do some devil shit. I don't know.
which would be even better, quoted by a guy who smoked a acid-laced cigarette. Perfect.
Tex Watson is still alive. He's still in prison somewhere. Find out where. Write to him. Just say.
That's why he didn't die.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Did he not die? I don't know.
Did he not die in the movie?
Oh no, he died in the movie.
But-
oh yeah,
He got his dick bitten
ripped
off
Yeah.
to death.
So find
Dick
out.
bitten to death.
So he's in prison right now. Find
Brandy's
out.
a good girl.
Write to him. Tell him. Hey, you were in a movie. A dog bit your dick off. Go fuck yourself.
Right. I'm all about that. What did you think about that finale, Gal?
I thought, maybe for someone who's wasn't low-key expecting this, because if you're familiar with Tarantino, you're kind of just waiting for the grizzly. I do like that we got the payoff on that.
We did.
Yeah.
I do like the payoff. I do like that we didn't have to see poor Sharon Tate murdered again.
Yeah.
I did just love the kind of fish out of water of like DiCaprio Pitt in the hippie land, and like he says the word, like Rick says the word hippie with more disdain than
Hippie
like the
feels like a
racial
4-letter
slurs or
word in
anything.
this movie.
Like it's just like ugh. But then you can see like Brad Pitt's character, he's kind of like more in on this because he's not necessarily from like the higher class whatever.
Totally.
And like when
Hippie is said in this movie the way the N-word is said in Reservoir Dogs.
That's true. Right. They say it all the time.
But it was like, I love...
You guys work with a bunch of hippies, man? Come on, you guys work with hippies?
I love Brad Pitt going to the ranch, though, and just that feeling of like the creepy old guy they're taking advantage. That was like very like horror movie or like True Detective season 1. Like what are we getting into? And this like dilapidated old set, and it's like
plus like Bruce Dern, and he's just creepy on his own.
Man. That girl was making flowers all over him, making flowers on him till he passed out.
I loved he's kind of like Brad Pitt can kind of go into these different social set, like he's with the hippies, he's with the highbrow Hollywood, you know, he has that more social chameleon, but he also, in spite of his dubious past of maybe or maybe not killing his wife, like the fact that he was like,
which was played to hilarious effect,
but it was like dun dun dun, where you're like, I hope he didn't, so that he can just be like,
it cuts right when they show the flashback of the it cuts right before you can decide, was this intentional or not?
Right.
Exactly.
Because it's like a perfect storm of just like alcohol, harpoon gun. Like
I
this
think
could have been an accident.
I think that in the movie they kind of purport that everybody's kind of doesn't really like Brad Pitt's character because they think that he killed his wife.
I don't dig him. And I don't dig the vibe he brings on a set.
He is kind of a cry because he may or may not have killed his wife, but he actually goes and shows that he's way more stand-up than most Hollywood guys because he asks how old she is and refuses to do any sex acts until he can see her ID.
Yeah.
So I just have to say,
he says,
respect to that.
Great line in the movie. He's like, one day I'm gonna go to jail for something, and it ain't gonna be for poontang.
Exactly.
So you still with Rick, huh? Still here.
He, like, Leo's almost emulating him, even though he's his stuntman, because he is actually the guy who seems like he's doing all right. He's
content.
Dog he takes care of.
That's the difference.
He lives in a trailer and he's got his fucking mac and cheese and he's got Brandy and it's cool.
He leaves the TV on for Brandy when he's not home. That is like a cute little character note where you're like, oh, good dude. That's why I don't think he killed his wife.
That was my last thing, though. Like, he's like kind of the hero of the
He's the real hero cowboy in real life, where like Leo's playing the hero cowboy or the villain.
In the action sequence at the end, the way their characters dispatch the Manson family is very much what their characters do, where Brad Pitt, the stuntman, does pretty much all the work, and then DiCaprio comes out for the money shot.
Gets the money shot.
He gets the money shot.
Exactly, yeah.
Because he's the actor.
It's like the setup and the tea.
Any order fried sauerkraut? Burn you Nazis!
His movies always kind of just seem to end in a crescendo of violence. That's kind of what happens from here on out for the most part.
Yes.
And I kind of wanted it to
comedic violence too.
Right, well, yes. And like I kind of wanted it to not happen. I kind of I would have if they would have like maybe like, you know, he's on acid and he just thinks that this Manson shit is so ridiculous, laughs him out of the house, or it becomes this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like, they needed to be dispatched, and I get that.
That never would have happened with them. They wouldn't have left.
Yeah, that's true.
They killed an unborn child. They're not just going to leave. Yeah.
But, like, it was one of those things where I was like, is he not going to do it, or is he going to do it, or whatever it was? And it happened. It fucking worked, I think, more than any of the other, like...
I was a little flabbergasted when I first saw it, because I was like, now looking back, I love it. Like Okay, he takes
because the movies, there's nobody gets killed, nothing happens to anybody.
It's not the whole movie. Yeah,
it's not a violent movie at all until the end.
It's one of his most. We were joking about this, but like the way Brad Pitt kills one of the Manson girls is so awesome and cartoony. He just he just keeps bashing her skull until it's nothing.
It's nothing.
And we were like, that'll be a fun one to rewatch where you could go frame by frame and be like, actress, stunt woman, mannequin.
Basically, I mean,
he just pulps this person's head.
It was wild, and but I remember it took me aback a little bit in the grid. I mean, the flamethrower just fixed everything, kind of, or whatever it was. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Chekhov's
flamethrower, yeah.
Chekhov's flamethrower, absolutely. No, but when that happened, I remember it was. I was like, does this confirm or disconfirm that he killed his wife? I think it's
Brad Pitt?
No, I don't think
because it's just he is just going to town.
Non-vet, dude. Non-vet.
This is a home invasion. Fair. There is a beautiful Italian woman sleeping in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. He's got to stand his ground.
Make sure.
Also, he already had a run-in with these hippie fuckery earlier in the day that he narrowly escaped.
He knows that they're weird. All right.
I'm just for me, our alternate timeline, I'm could an acid-dipped cigarette and a pitcher of Margs actually saved Sharon Tate? That's just really sad for me to think
and any
about.
Dog owner knows. I mean, you own a dog. You're with your dog. You're with your fur baby. Somebody breaks into your house. Oh. It's gonna become motel hell up in this motherfucker. You better hope I don't have a chainsaw.
I was so
chainsaw fight.
worried.
Yeah. There was a bit of a transactional relationship, I believe, between Tarantino and the audience. Maybe, perhaps. I'm actually going to give this kind of heartfelt, human, touching, mildly inspirational take on Sharon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do her justice, and I'm going to give her the ending she sadly was not given.
That Hollywood couldn't get.
That sadly...
He gave her the Hollywood ending.
No, Hollywood just gave...
They gave her the Hollywood ending?
No, Hollywood just gave her this ending. Yeah, he is Hollywood. I mean, no, real life fucked her over. I'm going to give you this. In exchange, I get to have my R-rated Looney Tunes ending.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got that.
But it works for everybody. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I thought that the ranch scene was fucking great. I loved how slow the turn was between where it's just I got this young little hottie, we're in the thing or whatever it is, I'm dropping her off, and then it just kept.
Good horror movie pacing.
Really slowly turning the thing.
And then
it was like a short horror film.
Yeah.
But it was also his sort of glory days of being a stunt double on that set. But my wondering, I thought that scene at the ranch was more powerful with Manson's absence. Mm-hmm. And
the fact that he's not in it.
That's another thing.
Manson isn't in the movie at all.
It makes the one scene he did have that more depth to it, and was this really way more sinister than we thought? He was plotting a murder. He wasn't looking for his friend's old house who moved out.
Right.
And it also does a good job of what you were talking about, not putting him on this pedestal.
Yeah. Right. I know. I said it before I saw the movie. I'm like, I hope there's hardly any Manson. I hope it's he's.
We'll have season 2 of Mindhunter for that.
Yeah, we're gonna get all that shit. But
played by the same actor, by the way.
Played by the same guy. That's just what he does now. He's like what's his name? Michael Sheen and Tony Blair.
Tony Blair, yeah.
You just throw Tony Blair in movies now.
That creepy scene where Lena Dunham plays Lena Dunham 20 years in the future. Lena Dunham's that's just gonna happen. That's just gonna be her.
Tarantino needed somebody with a bigger mouth and a more problematic bent on life on set than he did. And so he's like, I need these guys off my fucking back, and so I'm gonna get Lena Dunham to come on set. It's gonna be great. And
find me somebody who's just like me but half my age and opposite gender.
Basically, man.
Is Lena Dunham a foot fetish I don't know about?
Oh man, okay, so that was the other thing. It's you're talking about transactional fucking like a transaction between the audience. Where was Tarantino trolling
Oh,
a wee bit.
absolutely.
Trolling in the deep.
It seems like it trolling in the deep.
No, yeah, the foot shit is a little out of hand in this movie.
More so than it's ever been.
Mainly because there are actresses giving really good performances.
Yeah, that's what
and
I
you're like,
fucking
get the
hate.
fucking foot out of the
The
frame.
foot's like right here.
Yeah.
It's just like right. It's like there's a great thing happening. There's a
It
fucking
pisses-
foot right here. And
That's the one thing. One of my favorite scenes was Sharon in that movie theater.
Watching
but
that.
You couldn't let her have that moment.
That was
without,
a little-
He's like, oh, I can't jerk off to this, so take your shoes off. So now I can jerk off.
Get your
to
dick
it.
out of the camera. Get your dick out of the camera.
That was
shitty.
transactional too, because
I hated it.
I think it was that movie was like, because she didn't prop her feet up until the end of the scene.
Yeah.
It had a very sweet. That was like
was
actually
so
very
nice.
sweet when she's like, I'm in the movie, like, you know, and then the guy, the host is like, right this way, Miss Tate.
She hears everybody and their laughter and how delightful she is.
That's
in
a
that movie.
feeling I think everybody wants to feel about themselves. Like, oh wow,
Hey, look at me, ain't I
Hey,
cute?
they dig it.
George Carlin, hey, look at me, ain't I cute?
It's a very relatable moment. And
No, it is, and I thought it was so sweet and so kind in the fact that she's actually buying a book that she actually bought Roman Polanski days before her death. There's so many really important, poignant, and how she is really just kind of super down to earth and like, hey, it me. Aside from all the sweetness and everything, I'm like, okay, first of all, I have worn vintage shoes. They're unlined. They're very uncomfortable.
Yep.
She's wearing
she
socks.
is a rich lady. She would have some couture designer socks in those boots to keep her little footsies nice and from getting blisters and stuff. Also, sis is not going around wearing white leather boots, getting her foot stank dirty all over them. They're not going to stay nice.
They were very
Yeah.
dirty on the floor. That was one thing
I
that was
mean,
kind of.
that
Everyone was
was-
thinking
I
they
was
were
like-
right there.
When I came back, she's all sprawled out on the couch. Her shoes are off. Her shoes are off.
I understand trolling, and like with the pussycat scene, okay, you can troll us
You want to see
there.
some feet? I'll show you some
But
fucking
when you have this lovely scene with Sharon having her moment, and then you have to do your, is it trolling when you're just like,
Did
oh,
he just want to?
you made me.
He just
you,
wanted to see Sharon Tate's feet.
Yeah, you took me out of the movie, and now I'm thinking,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, oh, do you yell at Margot Robbie at a party like, hey, I jerk off to that foot scene that because that's what he did to Rose McGowan for years. Every time you would see her, he would yell out at Hollywood parties, I always jerk off to your scene in Jawbreaker. And so he would do that. So
Who did?
Quinten Tarantino, 4 years. Rose McGowan's on record saying this. She's like, every time I'd run into him at a party, he would just yell out, hey, that foot scene in Jawbreaker, I jerk off to that all the time.
Oh.
And she was like, that is humiliating. And I'm like, so yeah, cool, you trolled me, I guess. You took me out of this gorgeous moment that you directed, and now I'm just thinking about you screaming at Margot Robbie and like humiliating
Getting in his own way a little bit, which is something
Yeah.
that motherfucker knows
I
how
mean-
to do.
I've always wanted to explore slavery.
So cute
No, I'm with it.
how she's like this polished, put together starlet. Like Sharon Tate's sister even like lent her jewelry pieces to use.
Jesus
Sharon.
Christ.
Wow.
In
Wow,
the
I didn't know
beginning, the pouch she puts the dog in was Sharon's actual dog holder.
Wow.
I just thought it showed
Okay.
so much humanity. Then when she has to get her like grandma glasses out,
this is
I
the
love
best
that.
I could do.
I loved her anonymity, and I'm like, if like the Tate Family Foundation comes out and is like, Sharon hated socks, I will retract all my words, but I'm just saying, as a person who has worn shoes that were made in the 60s, they hurt and you would be wearing
Right.
socks.
Well, no. Well, they had the original priceless handbag, and then Kurt Russell just comes up and just smashes it to
Oh my
smithereens.
God.
Can I talk about
Music time's over.
Oh yeah, Kurt Russell's in this
Yeah.
movie
Kurt Russell's
too.
in
He had
the
a nice
movie.
little scene.
And
And a
he's
very
a,
fun scene.
I think
And he's a narrator too.
He
Yeah,
is
he's
the
the narrator,
narrator.
too.
I think his character's a little understated but important, and like his because how Sharon is almost like this allegory for Rick, like the inverse of what's
Yeah.
happening to
Uh-huh.
Rick.
Yeah.
I feel like Kurt Russell might be the inverse of what's happening to Brad Pitt's character, like
Yeah.
a successful stunt guy in a stable marriage.
Yep.
Yeah, or
You
they're
know.
just on like different
And
parts
he's
of
like,
the wheel.
right,
It's
like, you could have
you're
been
up,
me,
you're
but you're
Hey,
not
down.
gonna be
Brad
ever.
Pitt is in
Yeah.
a stable marriage. Him and Brandy are very happy together.
Right.
I'm not talking about Brad Pitt. I'm talking about the. fictional characters.
Brad Pitt isn't married to the
His
singer-songwriter
relationship
Brandy.
with Brandy. He's in a stable relationship.
Brandy from the Moesha show? What are we talking about?
The dog.
Oh,
She's talking about Brad Pitt's character.
Sorry, I didn't.
The name of the dog.
Brad Pitt's character in the
Morgan
movie.
already has this dog's name tattooed on her. Like, I don't know. I can't fucking keep up.
Guess in the comments. No, he is in a stable marriage in the movie. Him and Brandy in that little trailer.
The little trailer.
A little bit of heaven.
I don't like saying they're married.
They're a little cul-de-sac of
No, it's a platonic marriage.
Right. Yeah, they're Desi and Lucy in it. They're fucking they're
Separate
separate
beds.
beds.
Of the trailer.
No dog fucking in this movie unless it's on the feed.
I do love that, like,
Dog
everything just he living behind the.
Oh, you got some Morgan on you. Your mind is just in the gutter.
I know, right? Tarantino is also, he's kind of like a foodie. You can kind of tell he loves to have he has like these scenes that will kind of be cudgeled within a scene where he really just like shows like food or drink being made. There's the what was it when they get like the dessert in Inglourious Basterds, like the creme. We have to wait for the creme, or whatever. There's also the same scene in where he's making them the beers in Django Unchained and stuff like that. And then in this one, it was from Brandy's perspective, where it's just like
the raccoon and rat flavored dog food.
Dog food.
Raccoon flavored dog food. What the fuck?
I'm gonna seek that raccoon flavored dog food out for my dog.
That'd be great.
She's not picky. She'll eat it.
Yeah.
Also, then you train your dog in the apocalypse. They're gonna have to eat raccoons. So you're training
Oh
your
my
dog.
God! If the Mansons broke into my house, I'd be fucked. Luna would not be like,
God.
Yeah, you can go.
I can't. She'd be like,
huh?
Gandalf and Khaleesi would be like, hi.
Right. The other one.
Who are these people breaking in that look and smell like you?
This movie also has a lot of fun. This is another thing where he's kind of Tarantino started checking boxes, where he's just having fun with the iconography of the movie stars of the age. Like he gets to have like a little Stephen McQueen scene. He gets to have a
cast, everyone hanging out at the Playboy Mansion.
Exactly. He gets to have his Playboy Mansion scene. He gets to have Bruce Lee scene.
My hands are registered as lethal weapons. We get into a fight, I accidentally kill you, I go to jail.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
They made Bruce Lee look like such a dick.
They did. I mean, like, and so
the guy nailed it.
Right.
I was kind of like, wow, did he ever meet Bruce Lee?
I don't
and he was
think so.
a dick to him, like
right when he was
when
7.
Did he die?
When he was 7,
when he was a kid, and he kicked him in the shin or something.
I think.
I think they did that.
If Bruce Lee kicked Kid Tarantino in the shin, he'd be walking with a cane.
But I do like how they made Bruce Lee was like, yeah, I'm a fucking badass, in their little spat. Like, that's them kind of showing respect and like play fighting each other.
A little bit, and it's there
then
to show how capable Brad Pitt's character
that
is.
sets him up.
Like, he could throw down with Bruce Lee.
And to make this Sharon's, when she's watching the movie and she flashes back to her training with him.
Yeah,
just
right.
to show what a dedicated actor, like how committed she was to her art.
Right.
She actually, no other Hollywood starlets were going off and training with Bruce
For
Lee
a comedy
a
bit.
30-second long
Did
scene.
she actually do that, though?
I think she.
I don't know why
she
he
did.
would put it
I
in
don't
there.
know.
I mean, maybe.
Else. I thought she did, but I was going to say.
We'll do a little.
She actually did.
It's untrue or untrue. We're gonna find out
Okay.
in the end. We got to remember that's from Cliff's point of view.
Right.
And so what I'm thinking is, I'm like, that's when he's like liquored up at the bar, when he's hanging out and he's telling that story.
Oh.
That's how it goes. It's like 70% of how it went down.
Yeah, it's like I
You know what
totally
mean?
threw him into a car and a dent.
Right.
That was the best acting I've ever seen in my whole life.
That little girl.
She did great. She was great. That's like the Liana Mormont of this fucking movie.
It is like her and Liam.
Little caveat into this, I complain a lot about Tarantino's movies being really fucking long.
They are.
And they are.
They're long.
But
Ass-numbingly
what
long.
this movie made me realize is that they are long. They could be a little shorter. It's just the scenes that narratively should be cut are the most fun scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So well acted.
Yeah. No, she was great. I mean, like, and I thought Leo did some good. I loved like the like, you know, we're essentially kind of in the movie, like we're in the show or whatever, and then having to be like, cut, stop, no, I can do it. Leo gets to be kind of the big, verbose player that he wants to be, and he gets to do a lot of different scenes. Like, that's the other thing. Like, he gets to have like another classic Western scene.
Yeah.
I will say Luke Perry.
Oh yeah, Luke Perry was in it. He was in it with a fabulous fucking hat, by the way.
And he was playing a real guy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Ollie, that show Lancer was a real show.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, I did love like
Child of
tying
older
into-
parents.
tying-
I've seen Lancer.
Yeah, tying
Rick
in-
Dalton wasn't in it.
Right. Yeah.
I loved at the beginning of the movie where they had Al Pacino explaining to Rick Dalton, also us, like the kind of how it goes in Hollywood, where you're a leading man, and then people like to have you as a guest star, as a bad guy, because people want to see the leading man get beat up by all these different heroes.
I love that stuff, you know, the killing. A lot of killing.
I liked how they framed that like early on in the movie, so that when you're watching him on the set of this, like, you know, doing this guest spot, it just really like
it primed the pump. It kind of gets you set to take it all in. You know?
To piggyback on what you just said about like, one day you're a leading man, the next minute you're the heel, you're the heavy on some like, you know, basic access show. Like, I really hope at the premiere, like, Tarantino sat next to Michael Madsen, and I want Madsen to be like, my joke to you.
Can actually say that like 35 millimeter film is the equivalent of 4.5K, and 70 millimeter, it's like 10K.
I also watched it at the Music Box in 70.
It was cool.
Nice little presentation. They interviewed one of the camera operators at the Music Box Theater.
Yeah.
And she describes the difference between seeing a movie in 70 millimeter versus digitally.
Yeah.
You know, see a movie digitally, I'm paraphrasing what she said. She's like, you see a movie digitally, oh, that guy's got a blue shirt and brown pants. You see it in 70 millimeter. Oh, he has a denim shirt and corduroy pants.
That was a great
That was a great way to describe the difference.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you can go check it out in that way.
You can see one of the five.
Yeah.
One of five in the world.
In North America.
In North America.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, in North America.
Because they said one was in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, you want to come over there and watch some
Gonna
70
watch
millimeter, eh?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple of Labatt's before we
got
go
some
there.
Labatt's, we got some poutine, some flapjacks.
They're Canadians, so they'd be like into like, oh, she didn't die.
Oh, it is a real
that's
Canadian.
nice. that's
Turns
nice.
out we had a
He
Canadian
made this
Ghost
movie
Rider
for Canada.
on his movie.
Oh, look at that there. She didn't die.
Oh, look at that!
Isn't that something?
The whole time I thought that Sharon Tate, but you know, she's not gonna die. You know, and then you go see a nice movie and you just go home.
That dog
You gotta pick up a history book there, bud.
I'm slightly
Brandy
correcting.
she's a real hoot.
Oh yeah, that pit bull. She's a real nice little gal there.
Oh, that part with Brad Pitt and the dog when they taking out all the
And then
Mansons.
especially when he took his shirt off too. You know, I was pulling the pork right there. You know? Hey, right, that's right, buddy. I was making my own poutine right there, bud.
All right. We love you, Canada.
Why do all of a sudden Canadians are like masturbating? What the hell?
Because they're so nice, but like they gotta have some weird shit going on.
On behalf of the Burlington Bar, we
You guys,
apologize to Canada.
I've seen trailer.
Traffic, Sean Logic.
I've seen Trailer Park Boys. This is a bit more of a return to form for me. This is more of a Jackie Brown type of experience than it is like a Django or a Bill,
a Hateful Bill,
or a Hateful Bill.
Hateful Bill Unchained.
Hateful Bill Unchained. Yeah, I mean this is a little bit more of what I want. Where it's what.
I was like, what Bill ate?
It was like this is a little bit more of a return to form in the kind of stuff that I actually like about it. It's about people that are in kind of extraordinary situations, but they handle it very casually.
It's about friendship.
Yeah, seriously.
It is about friendship. Yeah,
it's about two dudes that need each other and love each other.
And
Hey, you're Rick Dalton. Don't you forget it.
And then the caveat of the film at the end is when Rick talks to Sharon's ex-boyfriend at the end.
Yeah.
And finds out that she knows me.
That
and then
was so
and then
cute.
hey, what happened? Like, oh, I just torched these people like
he just roasted this woman's face in his pool.
You want to come in and have a beer?
Right.
And then and it's like you're like, oh my god, like this is
lovely movie.
Right.
Just constructive criticism, like Tarantino, just keep your dick out of touching scenes.
Keep your dick out of the camera.
You can have your dick in like the other scenes. Like if your dick can upstage like the Manson girls, cause fuck them. But just keep your dick away from Sharon. That's my only note. That's my only note.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved kind of the like 60s culture, and that the Manson murder was like, and Altamont Speedway, like murders were like the death of hippie, the death of
60, yeah.
So it's like, just to see it played out where it's like, a lot of people weren't even on board with that shit when it was like preemptively like killed, but it's like also movies like this just to go to show like how much has the world changed in this much time. Like obviously Hollywood and the way we consume entertainment has changed, but I think just as a study on old Hollywood, as the town as a character as itself, just to kind of like, I just loved being immersed in this world.
It was the details
separate
were there.
from the
there was
story. Although, if you were in the movie, who would you be? I would be. I would have been duped by Manson. Sorry, I'm really gullible. I would have been.
Just a sweet girl from Georgia.
I would have been Maya Hawke, who was like, "Yeah, we're gonna kill some people," and then be like, I forgot my phone in the car. I gotta go.
Ships Ahoy crew was in that shit, and that was another one that kind of like another.
that was a Tarantino thing.
We're just like he was like
the Uma of it all.
That's your daughter, and she drives away to safety.
In a car.
I hope that's a bearing.
We had that conversation. Wow, yeah, I forgot.
I hope that is a tip of the hat. As in some kind of reconciliation. Because otherwise that's really fucking weird. It's like, your daughter's in my movie, she's driving a car.
Incredibly specific, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very centered around car and safety.
I want to know, who are you?
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I would probably be that girl who was hitchhiking. Sharon picked her up.
That was
that random girl who had no dialogue?
That girl was the girl who worked at the movie theater.
All right,
yeah.
She didn't pick up the movie theater girl.
No, she did.
No.
All dark-haired, curly white girls look alike to me.
Millie, I can give you the male gaze, no, because Pussycat was a little lean. Girl that Sharon picked up had some yams.
I wouldn't have the yams.
I noticed the difference.
Yams aside, I would just be some random hitchhiker girl.
So you're a hitchhiker.
Yeah.
I'm a murder deserter.
I don't know who you would be. I want you to be. One day you have the potential to be Al Pacino's character.
Wait, you're explaining to the new generation of YouTube celebrities like how YouTube works. Like,
here's what happens: you have to make yourself a couple. You go in and you make yourself a couple of YouTube videos, and then what happens is it's like you start trying to broaden because you're essentially latched to a cultural phenomenon, and once that expires and ends, the floor drops out from underneath you, and then you're stuck doing fucking movie reviews with schmucks like these guys.
I was gonna say, actually, like, that would be like played by a 14-year-old telling us how to actually.
Exactly right. No, I should be taking advice. I'm taking advice from some fucking kid.
Get on TikTok, Grandpa.
I was gonna hope that you would be Roman Polanski so we could get you one of those dope Austin Powers suits.
Oh right, yeah, totally. Yeah, I would be 98% of Roman Polanski, I suppose. Like
I would say like 93%.
The 2%.
Oh wait. What's
what about?
Hold on. What's 100% minus 13? That's why they let me write for the show.
There you go. Right. What do you got, man?
He'd be Manson.
No.
You want to get the cult together, though. You say that all the time.
I do that all the time.
You've been wanting to be a cult leader since I've met you.
I joke about my intrusive thoughts, not how I conduct myself.
Right, exactly.
Honestly, like Kurt Russell's character, because like I'll be like, I will spend one iota being like, hey, my wife doesn't want you here. And then as soon as that doesn't work once, I'll be like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want you here. I tried.
That's you on the door.
I tried. Yeah.
Right? It's like, I tried to have you. Oh my God! All right, well, guys, if you want to check out an extended version of this discussion, there's probably some stuff that we cut out, or maybe we won't cut anything out. Maybe we'll pull a Tarantino, and this will just be.
Well, honestly, I think we should.
I think this is a good one.
If we're
hold on.
If we're pulling a Tarantino,
let's get this shit going. God, ready? Hold on.
Oh hi, we're just
oh my God.
just casually hanging out talking about movies.
It was if a thousand Tarantinos cried out in horror.
Or
Wait, do I have
There's like a weird hair. There's a dog hair on your foot. It's kind of freaked me out.
There's a dog hair on my foot.
That's what's freaking you out. Reader.
They got her, yeah.
But in the movie, what's her backstory?
That's the thing. But no, I'm not. Fuck her humans, but she herself.
In the movie, her backstory is that she's a racist and has a foot fetish.
Wait, the dog or Quentin Tarantino?
So you're saying
The lines, they're blurred.
So